Welcome on in, everybody. AuburnUndercover.com. Nathan King here with Jason Caldwell here inside Sanford Stadium. Georgia is the winner today over Auburn, 31-13. Jason, we keyed it all week, this being a turnover-less performance for Auburn being a massive factor here. And there's tons to get to with this game. Obviously Auburn wasn't able to keep pace for 4 quarters, but they don't turn the ball over in this game. But as you've talked about a lot, for this team all season, it's little things here and there that continue to push Auburn back in the wrong direction, whether it's we've talked about a couple of false start on 3rd and 3, whether it's a busted play or an incorrect play on 4th and 1. Hugh Freeze just preached about it postgame. Those little mistakes start to add up, and it's a lot of those are the reasons why Auburn's sitting at 2-4 right now.
Yeah, this end zone right behind us, inside this 20-yard line, where most of those mistakes happened today. We saw it where you had, a false start down here. You got a chance, I think 2nd and 4.
Yeah.
You got a chance to run out, get a first down, and if you do, you minimum punt the ball away, and instead you have to punt it from your own end zone. Georgia gets field position, scores a touchdown late in the first half to make it 14-3. But first possession of the game, you have 3rd and short. Jay Crawford makes an unbelievable play, but you got called in a substitution mix where Georgia did not substitute. They ran a quick play and caught you with too many guys on the field and negated that. They would have been a 3 and out. Instead, they go down and score a touchdown. And so you think about 2 plays, they're 14 points in the first half, and that's a huge momentum swing for this team. And it wasn't turnovers, but just those little mistakes, this team's still not good enough to overcome those things, even though you don't turn it over.
Yeah, and Freeze pointed to, I thought Peyton Thorne kind of breadbasketed to Malcolm Simmons in the end zone. Good defender was there, but he said Simmons came right up to him, was like, should have caught that.
Yeah, ball kind of went through.
Freeze said he's not going to get onto a freshman about that, but it just sort of goes to show margin of error. Again, we've used that phrase a lot this season, very slim for this team. 14-3, as you mentioned at halftime. Auburn was able to absorb, they call it the middle 8.
Yeah.
They were able to absorb and come out of it actually on the right side, forced Georgia into a 3 and out to open the 3rd quarter. Go down and score a touchdown, and it's 14-10. But from there, Jason, I look at one key play. Georgia's got 3rd and 6, back shoulder throw to Colby Young. Moves the change. They catch Auburn sleeping, 21 yards with ETN. After that, they go into the end zone. It's 21-10. You kind of felt like, number one, the momentum is gone at that point, and number two, it's the lead has ballooned. But again, it just comes down to, for this team right now, a few things here and there. But over the course of the second half, Georgia just kind of rolled Auburn away. But again, they had opportunities to get off the field on defense, and they weren't able to come away.
I thought you saw Keldry Falk in the first half was a monster.
Yeah.
I thought you saw in the second half Georgia make some adjustments on the offensive line. Auburn was not able to get a lot of pressure, and they were able to just Carson Beck was able to stand in the pocket and find guys, and couple of big 3rd down throws that kept drives alive. One led to a field goal, but they just kept the momentum.
Yeah.
Auburn couldn't get it back, and and Auburn moved the football once again. This is about as I've been coming here a long time now. It's been a while since I felt like Auburn offensively moved the ball as well as they did today.
Most yards of offense since 2009.
There you go.
In this
and
stadium.
so I think you look at it, there were things they did, but once again, you're just not good enough to do that and to overcome. Today was little mistakes, but little mistakes against a team like Georgia will cost you big, and it cost big today.
Jason, feels like a good time for the bye week for Auburn. Obviously, it's a bit of a disheartening time when you go into it 2-4. But Hugh Freeze was adamant after the game. He said, "Look, we got to start coaching this stuff harder." I asked Dorian Mausi, the linebacker, about that quote. He said, "Look, if the coaches want to coach us harder," he said he's absolutely behind that 100%. And so it's a good time for them to go on a bye, Jason. Obviously, this game wasn't one where you thought Auburn necessarily had a great chance to win, and there was, again, some encouraging stuff out there. But if they're going to beat teams that they're not a 22-point underdog against, that it's going to closer game, it's got to be about cleaning up these little things, and right now that is the biggest focus for this team.
Yeah, and that's what it takes for this team, no matter who the opponent is. We've already seen it. Now, today, you might have been good enough to win some of the games you've lost this year, but it wasn't going to be good enough here.
Yeah.
And that's what Hugh Freeze says. Look, they're not making enough winning plays. They didn't make a ton of losing plays today, but they didn't make a bunch of winning plays. Like Georgia goes up and gets the ball on 3rd down, and Auburn doesn't make a couple of plays like that. Those are things that you have to have. 4th down, miscommunication, Peyton Thorne checks, and it doesn't work out. Those kind of plays are massive for this team because they just can't overcome it.
Right. 31-13, Georgia. Number 5, Georgia, is the winner today over Auburn. Auburn goes into a bye, and then they will continue their road swing, go to Missouri and to Kentucky. For Jason Caldwell, I am Nathan King. Thank you guys for checking in with the Auburn Undercover post-game pod, and we will talk to y'all later.